Martin for this month's book talk. Just a reminder that all the books that I share today are meant to be hopefully some additions to your reading list, but of course we have so many books in our collection, and while all of these may not sound like good reads to you, you might get an idea for a genre or an author, and maybe even one or two titles. And if you aren't able to find what you're looking for in the library in terms of this list, feel free to use our catalog on the iPad or come on down for a chance to look through the shelves. The first book I'm sharing today is I Heart You, You Haunt Me by Lisa Schroeder. It's in the fantasy section, and it's not your typical ghost story. This is about a girl named Ava who meets a guy named Jackson, and the two of them fall for each other and have this terrific relationship until he dies. And I promise I'm not giving away the ending to this story. This happens right at the beginning in the opening pages. Ava is devastated. She misses Jackson. She can't see him or touch him. She's dreaming about him, wishing that she could be with him again. And then she begins to hear him and see him. And it's not just in her dreams. It appears as though Jackson has returned in sort of this back from the dead type of a way. You've got to read this book that is filled with romance and a connection between two people when one person just can't quite let go. I Heart You, You Haunt Me, written in free verse form, a very popular book in our library. Hope you'll pick this one up, by Lisa Schroeder. For something on the more typical ghost story style, The Haunting of Sunshine Girl by Paige Mackenzie is a story that got inspired by a YouTube channel, actually, YouTube sensation, I guess I should say. This is the first book in a series, and we've got the whole series in the fantasy section as well. Something is going on in Sunshine's new house. There's a chill that wraps itself around her bones. She can hear laughter in the middle of the night. Strange shadows are lurking in the photos that she takes. But the more weird stuff that happens, the less her mom believes her. Let's take a look at the trailer to find out more. Ooh, and the trailer isn't wanting to work for me right now. So never mind, I'll just tell you a little bit more. That's a bummer because it's such a good one. Sunshine is worried that something or someone might be haunting her house. And if so, what exactly is it that they want? She's not sure if they're there for something good or bad, and of course is wondering what they're going to do if Sunshine can't help them. This is one of those books where you're going to read each chapter and have more questions than answers as you continue on. If you like a story that certainly has suspense, this book is for you. The Haunting of Sunshine Girl, and then, of course, the next in the series, The Sacrifice of Sunshine Girl and The Awakening of Sunshine Girl. If you've already read book one, be sure to pick up the rest of the books under Mackenzie in Fantasy. Death by Bikini, there's a series by Linda Gerber in Mystery, and our main character, Afra, really has the type of life that I think anybody would love to have. She lives on a remote island at a hotel resort that I believe it's her dad that owns it. She spends most of her time just eavesdropping on the rich people who come to stay there. And there's a guy who comes along with his parents. She doesn't really get a chance to meet people her own age all that often. And of course, because they are guests at the hotel, usually people only stay for a night or two and then they're gone. Seth is going to stay for quite a while with his parents, and they connect and get to know each other. And of course, she really likes him, simply because he's her age and they seem to have a lot in common. Well, then a famous rock star staying at the hotel, his girlfriend turns up dead on the beach, strangled by the strings of her bikini top. Holy cow, nothing like this has ever happened on this island. Afra begins to wonder if it's a coincidence that Seth's family showed up just one day before the murder. She begins to piece together some things that seem a bit suspicious, and you're going to wonder as well. Try to solve this mystery before you get to the very last page. I challenge you in Death by Bikini by Linda Gerber. For a more realistic read, you could take a look at Cyclone by Doreen Cronin. I absolutely loved this book. This is the story of a girl named Nora who has had a dream all summer long of going to the world-famous Coney Island roller coaster. It is the scariest, wildest ride. It's the kind where you go to the amusement park and you can hear the screams, the moment that you step out of your car. And Nora has been begging and begging her cousin Riley to go along with her. Well, Riley is not excited to go on this ride, but because Riley loves her cousin, she agrees to go, and the two of them manage the ride in the first chapter of the book. And Nora's thrilled, and Riley's thrilled that she managed to do it, and they get off the ride, and they take a picture together, and they're just so excited that they managed to do this thing that Nora's wanted to do all summer long. The problem is, the moments after the ride, and the moments after they take this picture, Riley collapses on the ground. They have to bring Riley to the hospital. Turns out Riley had a heart condition that no one knew about, and she's now in a coma. And I don't want to tell you more about this book because you've got to read it to find out how things go from here. It is quite the ride to read this book. Cyclone by Doreen Cronin. You won't regret it. The Running Dream by Wendelin von Dranen. I may have shared this with a couple classes if you were here for 6th grade, but it's in our sports section and it's worth mentioning again if I have not yet shared it with you. Jessica is pretty sure her life is over when she loses a leg in a car accident. She's been a big runner, and she is not comforted by the idea that she'll be able to walk using a prosthetic leg because, after all, who cares if you can walk if your whole life has been about running? Because she's just certain that's not going to be a possibility. The other part that gets tricky for Jessica is that now she is sort of in the spotlight and also invisible at the same time. Certain people in her life are giving her all kinds of attention because she now looks and acts differently than she used to. Others seem to treat her as though she doesn't exist anymore. And that's a very strange sort of just a strange way to be treated, these two different ways. Jessica just wants things to go back to the way they were, and of course, that can't happen. There's a lot of other things going on in this story. Jessica ends up, getting tutored by a girl through all the math classes that she's missed, and that friendship becomes huge. There's another element of the support of her track teammates, and, just read the book. Find out if you have ever had anything get in the way of any dream you've had, or if you've wondered to yourself, what if something happened to me that would change my life in a really big way? This would be a great book for you to try. A couple others to share with you. It's Not Like It's a Secret by Misa Segura. Realistic fiction. Oh my gosh, did I love this one too. Sana is our main character. She's 16 and she has all kinds of secrets. And I mean, let's be honest, when we are middle school, high school age students, our lives are about secrets to some extent. There's lots of little ones, right? It bothers her when her friends don't invite her to go do things. But some of them are big secrets, like the fact that she's pretty sure her dad is having an affair and cheating on her mom. Oof, that's hard. There's another big one that she's holding on to. She's pretty sure that she has a crush on her best friend, who's a girl, and she doesn't know what to do about that. Well, then Sana's family announces they're going to move to California. They're going to pick up where they, have been living and move far away. That stirs up a whole bunch of stuff for Sana. She decides maybe it's time for her to finally come clean about some things, be honest about who she is and about what she thinks about her dad, and oh my word, do the secrets come tumbling out. And even though she thought honesty was going to be the thing that finally made her feel better, it isn't, at least not at first. It's not like it's a secret. Lots of relationship stuff going on in this story. Family relationships, romantic relationships. Sana meets a girl by the name of Jamie, and falls for her. Take a look at this story. Again, like I said, I really enjoyed this realistic fiction book. Last but not least, this one's been around for a long time in the adventure section by Ben Michelson. It's Touching Spiritbearer. Cole Matthews is in major trouble. He severely hurt Peter in an empty parking lot. I mean, like beat him up almost to the point of, needing emergency surgery. But instead of jail time, Cole is given another choice. He can attend a place called Circle Justice, which is an alternative program that sends juvenile offenders to a Alaskan island to focus on changing their ways. Well, Cole, desperate to avoid prison, fakes being, sorry, and admits that he's going to, try to change, and he agrees to go. While he's in Alaska, he is mauled by a mysterious white bear and left for dead. Thoughts of his abusive parents, Peter being so helpless, and his own anger lead Cole to examine his actions and seek some forgiveness, seek some ways of actually changing who he is. He's looking to become a different person. He decides that there's things about him that really do need to change if he is going to make a difference in his own life. This is one of those books that you read and never forget. Touching Spiritbearer by Ben Michelson in Adventure. I hope that one of the books I shared today is a story that you might want to pick up. Maybe one of these genres is a favorite of yours, and maybe you're going to try and select something within that genre, or again, an author. If one of these books is not on the shelf, go ahead and try to look by other books by these authors, because they're all fantastic. Thanks so much for your attention. Happy reading.